Good morning, my fellow Americans. Today we have a great show planned for you and a lot of things to talk about. First, we're going to talk about the Jets, who recently acquired James Robinson from the Jaguars for a 6th-round pick that could turn into a 5th-round pick. They also beat the Broncos, who are now 5-2. Or the Jets are now 5-2. What are you guys' thoughts on that? A lot going on over there.
I think the Jets look like a solid team right now, but sad Breece Hall's out with an ACL. Hurts me personally, my fantasy teams. But I think Breece just looked like a really young, good player, but they acquired James Robinson, who I think is the same. And I think this team doesn't lose a whole lot just because of the run game. I think they help fill that piece in. But I think they look like a real playoff contender right now for a wild card game. Yeah,
before the James Robinson trade, I had them projected to go 10-7, which was yesterday. And now I think they could win another game or two, squeak one or two more out there just because of that extra depth at running back. Yeah. And then I think that'd be good enough for them to be a 5 seed because last year 5 teams made the playoffs with a 10-7 record or worse. So Jace, any other thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, they're set to be a wild card team right now, and losing Breece Hall, we didn't really think they were going to do much. Kind of not really give up, but their hopes were kind of gone. And now that they got acquired James Robinson, now they're going to keep that alive and try going to getting deep in the playoffs and hopefully gain something out of him. But years to come, I don't know how all those 3 with Carter are going to do together. I don't know how the sharing touches will go.
Travis Etienne's stock is going through the roof right now.
Oh, yeah, I bet you think that.
Yeah, I do, because, there's no one down there to take touches away from him. The only other running back I can think of in Jacksonville, I don't even know if he's there, is Carlos Hyde. Mm-hmm. I think he was there last year, but I'm not 100% sure.
Nobody.
Exactly, that's why his stock's going up. Commanders and Ravens both won close ones. Did either of you guys catch any of those games?
Oh, yeah, I love the Commanders winning against beating the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I love seeing Aaron Rodgers lose, just humble him a little bit. But he needs help down there in Green Bay. Not a whole lot of receivers down there, but I think the Commanders just looked pretty good. Taylor Heineke at the helm. An all right game, but enough to squeak by the Packers.
Yeah, I know that last play was kind of crazy. I was holding my breath there for a second. They tossed it back, and even a couple linemen got the ball, but I think that last pass by Aaron Rodgers was a forward pass, and I don't know if they called that or not. But it didn't end up mattering.
His legs.
Yeah, and then the big guy sold his moment. And then the Ravens won close too. I didn't catch much of the game, but I don't think it was a pretty performance. But that missed field goal by the Browns helped out, and that questionable penalty. So the Ravens moved to 4-3, and they're second in the division. And then let's see. I think the Panthers traded Christian McCaffrey this week. The 49ers. And they won over the Bucs. What are we thinking?
Did not see that. A 1-5 team coming into to play Tampa. Tom Brady didn't think he was going to let that happen, but 21-3, not even a close game. Tampa couldn't even get in the end zone. Granted, Mike Evans had that drop pass, big bomb at the beginning of the game that kind of changed things probably. But it just kind of, I don't know. Panthers coming in there is surprising. I don't think the organization likes that just because hurts them and going into the draft, get him a higher pick. But it's, good win.
Yeah, for sure.
Personally, I'm not taking that level of disrespect.
Yeah, no. If I'm Tom Brady or Bucs fan, I
don't even need Christian McCaffrey. He's not.
Yeah, what are they? Are they 3-4 now?
They're 3-4 now.
Man, they might not even make the playoffs. How long would it have been without Brady or Rodgers in the playoffs? It'd have to be insanely long.
And when they weren't in the league, probably.
Yeah.
But they both never made the playoffs.
Yeah, and then let's move to the Lions here for a second. Call me crazy, but I think they're a piece or two away from being a playoff team. I think some improved quarterback play could help. I don't know if that's the immediate answer. The defense, to me, they played well for 3/4 of the game on Sunday. I think the Lions are close. Within the next couple of years, I could see them being a playoff team. And then a very injury-riddled weekend across the NFL with DK, Breece Hall, Mike Williams, J.K. Dobbins, and then Baker Mayfield all being injured. Any thoughts on that?
A lot of knee and ankle injuries. Mike Williams has a high ankle sprain. Breece torn ACL. DK probably an ACL. I haven't seen the
It's
the
an
final.
ACL.
It is. I knew it was a knee injury, so it looked pretty bad. But I mean, just hate to see players going out with ACLs. Just it's hard for them to come back in the end.
Yeah, no, being through that personally, it's very hard. Okay, we also saw this stat this weekend, the highest win percentage, including the playoffs since 2019. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes with 79%. Number 2 is Aaron Rodgers with 73.3%. Number 4 is Patrick Mahomes when the Chiefs are down by 10 with 70.6%. Number 4 is Tom Brady with 69.8%. That was an insane stat.
That's crazy. Just the fact that you're never out of a game, and all of us are Chiefs fans, and we know we can be down by 17, 20, and
24.
There's 24, and there's still a chance that we can come back. 13 seconds, we'll score.
Yeah, I know. We ruined the whole Texans organization on that Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it 24-0, I think?
24-0.
4-0.
Yeah, D-Hop, J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson. That whole thing fell apart.
Sent Watson straight off the edge.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to transition over to some NCAA action.
Bread.
What? All right, we're going to transition over to some NCAA action. K-State getting their second loss of the year to TCU. It was a game full of injuries. I know I'm going to get harassed by them for this. But Adrian Martinez out, Deuce Vaughn playing hurt, Felix Ezike-Uzama, who plays for K-State, playing hurt. Daniel Green, we had a corner, and then I think an offensive lineman who were all out. Oh, and then the backup quarterback got hurt, so we had our third string in for like 3 plays, and one of them was a pick. So K-State dropped to 22, TCU moved up 7. I think if any team has a shot at the playoffs, it's obviously TCU now. So, yeah, which is crazy because at this time last year they fired their head coach.
Honestly, I didn't think they would be like a contender like this in the Big 12. Last year they weren't a solid team. K-State kind of blew them out last year, and this year it's kind of all changed, and just good for TCU. And if they win out, I think there may be a chance they get in, but I don't know if the committee will allow. I don't know how the AP poll likes TCU, or if they like the Big 12 at all. It's been a while since the Big 12, a few years ago actually, OU, but other than that, I don't know. Depends.
Yep, and then anything up with KU this weekend, Jace?
I mean, yeah, another injury riddle, I guess. You could say our Heisman quarterback, Daniels, Highshaw running back, our whole O-line, D-line.
Wide receivers, corners, safeties.
Our head coach.
Water boy.
So, yeah, I mean, we have a bye week this upcoming week, so we're going to rest everyone, make sure everyone's good to go for the weeks coming. But our last game's K-State, so hopefully we're not injured. Hopefully you guys aren't injured, so there's no excuses in that game.
We all know that's your guys' Super Bowl.
Yep.
All right, we're going to go to commercial real quick, and then we're going to be back with some NBA action.
The Rose Hill Vet Clinic is a clinic that offers pet exams, adoptions, and other pet services. You can find them at 110 North Rose Hill Road. They are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays and closed on Saturdays and Sundays. You can contact them at 316-776-0040. They are locally owned and have been in business since 1982.
Welcome back, everybody. NBA is about a week under.
Yep.
Has gone for just under a week. And some news coming out with about Victor Wembanyama indirectly. Adam Silver wants to stop teams from tanking, and he's talked something about the European football system with delegation and relegation, where the bottom 2 teams could move down to the G League, and then the top 2 teams from the G League would move up. He said that's not realistic. I don't believe it's realistic because while there's still professional athletes, there's a big gap between your G League and your NBA. Do you guys have any thoughts on that system? Because I personally love that system.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but I don't know if they'd be able to do it, especially because a lot of G League teams are just NBA teams is lower.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know if you can have the Golden State Warriors and then their G League team in the league. I don't know if they'd do that. But it's going to be hard for him to stop tanking, especially for the prospects in this draft. There's 4 really good ones. Those 2 twins, Scooter and Wembanyama, of course. I think teams are going to be, even if they don't get that first overall pick, they'll be just as happy to get a top 4 pick.
Yeah, Jace?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a change in like how the game is going to be played if this were to happen, any type of like football, the like European system or whatever. But I mean, like Yeah, like Sky said, what if like Golden State and like the other team's gonna be in there? Like that's gonna be weird. Like I don't know how it's gonna fit around and stuff. So I mean, it's definitely gonna be a different like side of how basketball's played. And I mean, this year, but like there's a Wembanyama or whatever. But like next year, what if there's not even that many people? So are we gonna go back to the regular or like I don't know? It's just gonna be different.
Yeah, no, I personally really like the system. I think it solves a lot of problems for whatever league it's put place in. We've talked about this just like in classes before about how cool it would be to see something of that sort in like college football. But again, that's hard because you have guys that are just there for 4 years, so your program can change a lot, like TCU has over just this year. Yeah. But moving on to just some teams, the Cavs are 2-1 after that opening night or their opening night loss to the Raptors. Darius Garland is still out with an eye injury, but Donovan Mitchell's been picking up the slack with a franchise record 100 points in the first 3 games. And then you talk about your Raptors?
My Raptors 2-2, decent so far. Good play from Pascal so far, and then Freddie last night dropping 24. I think they're looking really good as a team together. See how they mesh with him, Pascal, and Scotty Barnes kind of emerging. I like to watch this team, really fun team to watch, and I think going forward, Freddie, Siakam, and Scotty Barnes really step up, and I think all of them have a possibility to average 20 this year.
For sure. And then the Thunder, after a rough start, 0-3, Lou Dort did drop 20. I think it was Sunday, but he was really kind of the only bright spot from the box score that I could see.
Yeah, no, then there's Shea. I mean, he's getting 20-ish. I mean, it hurts having Chet out. If we had Chet, that record's flipped, you feel. But other than that, I mean, there's not much to say. Thunder not really doing much this year already, I guess, but.
Yeah, and then on the other side of things, a team we thought would be down there with the Thunder, the Jazz, started off 3-0 and are now 3-1 after the loss to Houston. What do we think?
Just kind of, it's 4 games in. There's a lot to go, 78 games to go. But it's kind of cool just to see them start off this strong and look this good as a team. They've played really good fundamental basketball, passing the ball a lot, getting good shots. And it's just kind of a surprising thing. All these players, kind of a weird mix of players meshing together from all these trades and starting off 3-1 looking good.
Yeah, no, I think if this continues for them, which I don't believe they're gonna end up whatever the translation to 3-1 would be to 82 games, but I think they could be a team about 500, and I think the Jazz front office would be livid about that because you obviously have Victor and all them with the top 4 picks. But yeah, Ochai, anything from him?
Nothing. I mean, he hasn't. I think he's played gotten a couple minutes, but other than that, not much. So I mean, he'll get his minutes.
Yeah, I guess right now we could probably say that both teams are winners of the Donovan Mitchell trade. But we'll revisit that. We'll revisit that in a couple of months.
For now.
All right, we're gonna go to commercial again real quick, and we're gonna be back with some Rocket Sports.
Are you looking for a restaurant for a relaxing Friday night? Then I would like to introduce you to Happy House. What makes Happy House special is that you can watch the chef prepare your meal, just choose your meat, seafood, vegetables, and watch as the chef prepares your dish fresh and juicy right before your eyes. If this has convinced you, then come to Happy House at 202 East Silk Knitter Street at Rose Hill now and enjoy your meal.
Welcome back, my fellow Americans. We got a little bit of Rose Hill sports before we wrap up here. 3-5 Rose Hill football team finished as the 9 seed this year and will travel to the 8 seed Abilene this Friday, looking to get the school's second playoff win since 2011.
Rose Hill soccer beat Elyria last night 3-0 with the freshmen scoring. Pretty good goal. And then they will play the winner of Winfield and Trinity this Thursday. Winfield and Trinity plays today.
Your Rose Hill girls cross country team will travel to Wamego for state for cross country. Good luck there. And then volleyball lost sadly in 3 sets in their first round of regionals to Mulvane in this past weekend. So that's over.
Yep, fall sports are sadly coming up to a wrap, but we got basketball to look forward to. Football and soccer aren't done yet, and I expect both teams to keep fighting and moving on here for a while. Cross country, as you said, will wrap up this weekend. All right, thank you for watching, and we will be back on Friday with a podcast.